Hello everyone. In this video I am going to discuss this elegant algebra problem. As you can see, in this problem you have to find the largest real number p such that all the three roots of the equation are positive integers. Okay, you have given a cubic equation and you have to find out the value of p for which the equation has all the roots as positive integers. Okay, so what can I do? This is very nice problem. My first observation is, if you look at the term containing p, this one is 66p, this one is minus 5p, and if we transpose this term to the right hand side, then 66p plus 5p becomes what? 71p, and here it is 71p with positive sign. Okay, so by observation we can say that x equals to 1 is a root of the cubic equation. If you put x equals to 1, then you can check 5 minus 5p minus 5 plus 71p minus 1 plus 1 minus 66p equals to 0. 5p, 66p, this together with this cancel 71p, minus 1 plus 1 cancel out, minus 5 plus 5 cancel out. Okay, so definitely x equals to 1 is the root of this cubic equation. So if we divide by x minus 1, then the quadratic factor is what? I am going to divide by synthetic division method. So first of all, write all the coefficient. 5 minus 5 times p plus 1, 71p minus 1, and what about the constant term, that is 1 minus 66p. Okay, we have to divide it by x minus 1, so write 1 over here, 0 is here, 5 plus 0 is 5, 1 into 5 is 5 clearly, and this plus this is what? I think minus 5p. 1 into minus 5p is minus 5p, so the sum becomes what? 66p. 66p minus 1, that's great. If we multiply by 1, then this amount is what? 66p minus 1. Again, if we add this and this together, then we get the remainder as 0. This is actually what? Remainder. And these are the coefficient of the quotient when the cubic is divided by the linear factor x minus 1. So the other quadratic factor of the cubic is what? I think 5x square minus 5px plus 66p minus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, so one factor is what? One factor of the cubic is clearly x minus 1, and the other factor is this one. And you have to given all the roots are positive integers. So if we suppose this quadratic has two roots, alpha and beta, then obviously alpha and beta are positive integer. But at the same time, if we talk about the sum of root is what? Minus by, that comes out to be p. And what is the product of root? Alpha beta is clearly 66p minus 1 over 5. Okay, okay. Uh, so here there are three unknown, alpha, beta, and p. Okay. So first of all, I am going to eliminate the role of p from these two informations. We can write 5 alpha beta equal to 66p, but the value of p is what? The value of p is alpha plus beta minus 1, something like that. Okay. So here uh, we can write 66 alpha plus 66 beta minus 5 alpha beta is equals to 1. Okay, this is the Diophantine equation in two variable alpha and beta. So I want to factorize this expression. Okay, okay. So first of all, here it is 66, it is 5. So multiply by 5. 66 into 5, 66 into 5 is clearly 330 alpha plus 330 beta minus 25 alpha beta is equals to 5. Okay, okay. If we take 5 common from first and the last term on LHS, I think 5 alpha is good, 5 alpha common, then we can write 66 minus 5 beta. Okay, now on LHS this is a single term 330 beta. What I want to create a factor like this one. Okay, so I am going to take minus 66 common, uh, okay, and write 66 minus 5 beta. Okay, so if minus 66 multiplied by minus 5 beta, then we will get this term 330 beta. But here I write one extra term minus 66 square. So in order to balance this equation, I can change the right hand side like this, 5 minus 66 square. I think here it is okay. Yeah. So what we can write, the factors are clearly 5 alpha minus 66 and 5 beta minus 66. That comes out to be 66 square minus 5. Okay, but what is a 66 square? 66 multiplied 66 is a 36. 36 plus 3, 39. 6, 9, 3. 6, 9, 6, 15. 9, 3, 12. 1, 13. I think 4, 3, 5, 6. And 4, 3, 5, 6 minus 5 becomes what? 4, 3, 5, 1. Okay, okay. Move to the next page. 5 alpha, uh, 5 alpha minus 66 into 5 beta minus 66 equals to 4351. Where alpha and beta are what? Alpha and beta are the two positive integral root of the quadratic. So without loss of generality, we can assume alpha is less or equals to beta. And if alpha less or equals to beta, then clearly at 5 alpha minus 66, if we replace beta by alpha here, then obviously this quantity is less or equals to 4351. Okay, uh, then 5 alpha minus 66 is less or equals to square root of this number. Okay, and here alpha is positive integer, 66 is also positive integer, and 4351 is what? This is something like 66 square minus 5. So I think this cannot go beyond 65. Okay, uh, so what we can write from here, 5 alpha cannot go beyond 65 plus 66, I think 131. So what is the upper bound of alpha? 131 by 5. But alpha is what? Alpha is a positive integer. Alpha belongs to capital and natural number. So alpha cannot go beyond 5. 5 to the 10, 5 6 is 30. Alpha cannot go beyond 26. So from here we get the upper bound of alpha. Uh, okay. Uh, okay. But if we work again on this equation to find the lower bound of alpha, so I want to write this equation again, 66 alpha plus 66 beta. Also 66 alpha plus 66 beta minus 5 alpha beta equals to 1. Okay. Now I want to represent beta in terms of alpha. So take beta common from this picture. 66 minus 5 alpha equal to 1 minus 66 alpha. This will imply beta is what? Beta is 66 alpha minus 1 upon 5 alpha minus 66. But beta is what? Beta is a positive integer. So this quantity must be positive. This quantity is positive, so necessary condition, because here alpha is positive integer, so there is no doubt that numerator is positive. So the fraction becomes positive if the denominator is positive. So necessary condition from here, What are the necessary condition? 5 alpha minus 66 is greater than 0, that is alpha is greater than 66 by 5, and that is alpha is greater than 13. Alpha is greater than 13. Okay, so but alpha is positive integer 13 point something, so it is better to write alpha is greater than equal to 14. So we get the two bounds of alpha. Here it is 1 and it is 2, so we can say alpha moves from 14 to 26. Alpha moves from 14 to 26. Now uh, again if we work on this equation, then there is one more very strong observation. From this picture we can say that alpha and beta are not divisible by, because here the coefficient of alpha is 66, which is divisible by 2 3 2 3 and 11, 6 into 11 is 66. So the coefficient of alpha is 66. Here again the coefficient of beta is 66, and we say that alpha and beta we divisible by any one of 2 and 3, then the whole LHS of this equation will be divisible by 2 3 or 11. But here look at RHS is only 1, it is not divisible by any of 2 3 and 11. So we can say that alpha and beta are not divisible by any of 2, 3 and 11. So the refined value of alpha, the refined possibilities, we can say refined possibilities of alpha are, alpha belongs to, I think all we have to reject all the even numbers. 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 17 okay. 18 rejected. 19 is okay. 20 rejected. 21 is divided by 3, so not allowed. 22 rejected. 23 the prime number, no issue. 24 is again even, and 25 because 25 is not divided by 2, 3 and 5. So the refined values of alpha are possible. We can say possible values of alpha 17, 19, 23 and 25. Okay, we have four possible values of alpha. Okay, out of these four values, which value we have to pick the a value of alpha which works over here, which makes beta a positive integer. So we have to check one by one. So again I want to write the value of beta. Beta is 66 alpha minus 1 divided by 5 alpha minus 66. 5 alpha minus 66, and possible values of alpha are 17, 19, I think 23 and 25. Okay, and beta is a positive integer. So first of all we have to check one by one all the values of alpha, and that value of alpha will work here, for which beta becomes a positive integer. So if we put alpha equal to 17, then beta is what? 66 into 17 minus 1 upon 5 into 17 minus 66. 17 6 is 102. 17 6 is 102 plus 10 112. 1120 minus 1 divided by 17 by 85. 85 minus 66, I think 19. Yeah. So beta is what? 1119 over 19. 19 5 ja 95. Uh, 19 5 ja 95, and 160. 5 plus 11 169, I think. 19 value 95, 169, 171, 66 into 17 is what? 66 into 17. 17 into 17, 6 is 102. Sorry. 17 6 a mistake from my side. Take pardon. Mistake from my side. Okay. 17 is a 102, 10 carry. 17 is a 102, 102 plus 10. 102 plus 10 is 112. Yeah, that's okay. 1 1, I think 2 1 divided by 19. Okay. Now 19 5 ja 95, 19 5 ja 95, and here the remainder is what, 12 plus 5 17, 171, and 99 ja is 171. So the value of alpha equals 17 work here, because for alpha equals 17 we get positive integral value of beta. Therefore, if alpha equals to 17, then we get beta equals to 59. Okay, so you can check the remaining values of beta as well, remaining values of alpha over here. Then you can see that no value of alpha work here, for which beta becomes a positive integer. There is only one value of alpha for which beta comes out to be a positive integer. So you have to find out the value of p. P is what? P is clearly alpha plus beta. P is the sum of root, as you can see. uh, P is what? P is actually the sum of root. Yeah, this one. P is alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta 17 plus 59. 59 plus 160, 60 plus 17 is 60 plus 17 is 76. The largest value of P is clearly 76. Okay, hence proved. Thanks for watching.